Good evening. Ashley Kay has the night off. Well, we've had our first look at the man accused in a horrific killing aboard a Grey Hound bus in Manitoba. Vince Wagwan Lee made his first court appearance today in Portage La Prairie, Manitoba. It's alleged Lee stabbed Winnipeg resident Tim McLean to death, then decapitated him. CTV's Kevin Armstrong has the latest from Winnipeg.
And you have to go by at least the last light.
Tight security pushes our cameras back as the Edmonton man accused of a gruesome murder is escorted by several sheriffs and police into a small Portage La Prairie courthouse. Vince Wagwan Lee is charged with second-degree murder, accused of stabbing this man, 22-year-old Tim McLean, to death before cutting his head off on a Grey Hound bus. In court, the judge asked Lee if he had a lawyer. Lee did not respond. The judge then said, "You do have the right to not speak to us. Are you exercising that right?" Lee nodded yes. The Crown then asked for a psychiatric assessment.
We feel that the circumstances justify some sort of psych assessment. The judge wasn't prepared to make that order today.
The judge ruled no assessment until after Lee speaks to a lawyer.
A total disregard for human life.
This psychologist says cases like this are rare and that mental illness is sometimes a factor.
What I would be thinking is that there's a number of things that are going on. One, I would have to consider a paranoid schizophrenia.
There's so many questions around the suspect. As for the victim, Tim McLean, his friends say no answers will do.
He was an awesome guy. He always liked to have fun.
He was such a close friend to so many, their kids would call McLean Uncle.
It's rough. It really is. The hardest part was trying to explain to my kids that they'd never see Uncle Tim again.
The carnival worker was in Edmonton for Capital X, a job he worked for the last 3 years.
I thought it was wrong. I was hoping he changed his mind and didn't go into the bus. He was like a brother. He was always there for everyone.
So much emotion from McLean's friends, no emotion from Lee as he left the courthouse.
Do you have anything to say, Mr. Lee? Did you commit these crimes?
Lee's second court appearance will take place next Tuesday. Manitoba Legal Aid has been instructed to get Lee a lawyer right away. If he is still not communicating with a lawyer or with the courts, a plea of not guilty will be entered on his behalf. Reporting from Winnipeg, Kevin Armstrong, CTV News.
As Kevin said, Lee returns to court Tuesday. The judge has instructed that legal aid be contacted and a lawyer provided immediately. The victim, Tim McLean, had just finished working at Edmonton's Capital X with North American Midway Entertainment. The company released this statement today. It reads, "Everyone at North American Midway would like to express their deepest condolences to the family and friends of Tim McLean. Tim worked as a game operator for a one-month summer job." When it comes to the suspect, though, 40-year-old Vince Wagwan Lee, we still know very little, but some details are emerging tonight. CTV News has learned Lee once delivered newspapers for the Edmonton Journal and Sun in the Clairview and Concordia neighborhoods. According to the Journal, Lee told his employer he had a job interview in Winnipeg and wasn't heard from again. Estonians who reside in this apartment building say a man matching Lee's description had recently lived there.
I just see the guy that was there, like upstairs. The one that I saw, he was a big guy. He just sat there and watched TV and didn't really do anything. And I'd see him just sitting there.
Never talked to him.
Nope.
Boardwalk officials will not confirm if Lee lived there. It's also believed he had a wife who also lives in the city. In other news tonight, a death this week that was being called